All right, goal number 2, use media to attract funding. So I get a lot of funding, y'all, and a lot of it is grant money. So taking the work that I do and turning it into creative projects that are within my experience and getting my stuff funded. Like I did a documentary called Remixing Colorblind, and that was funded by like a $10,000 funding opportunity, right? And it really is, if you can watch the video on YouTube, it really is just research repackaged in another way. Because we were talking about how race impacts, the higher educational system, right? So thinking about your work in a more creative way will likely be really, really beneficial for you. This is getting media coverage is the process of thinking about your work outside of higher ed, is what I'm really trying to say. And that's going to be a really beneficial practice for you. And once you start seeing results in terms of people responding, organizations connecting with you, um, you'll get more comfortable as you go. All right. So media makes your work appear trustworthy and urgent, right? Because if you're landing media placements, then it must be trustworthy. That's the perceptions of people. Donors connect to people, not just proposals. Right? Everything is about the story you tell, your purpose and your mission. When people connect to you, they want to give you opportunities, and funders support what they understand and believe in, and oftentimes they don't understand the intellectual ways you're going about sharing your research. Okay, so build relationships through visibility. The great thing about pitching all of these outlets with op-eds, talking about your work in an easy and plain way on social media, pitching your local WHYY stations, which if you're not doing, let this presentation be a reminder that you should be doing that, because they are looking for you. They want to connect with you. They want experts, especially now in the time period that we are in, right? With AI that can create like almost anything, it seems like. If you, as a subject expert that did a dissertation on this stuff, you already have the historical background to say that this person is an expert. You are an expert. And it's through that visibility that you'll be able to build some really cool relationships. Like I've been talking a lot on Threads and Instagram. Those are my 2 platforms, about my dissertation that I did in 2010. I did my dissertation in 2010 and people are like buying it from me. Thousands of dollars on my dissertation. Um, but beyond that, I'm making amazing connections in my DMs. Like someone DM'd me the other day and was like, "Hey, I actually did some of the music for the Boondocks." That's a connection I would have never made if I didn't put myself in a position to get media coverage and to get visibility. So, what you want to start getting comfortable with is tagging these people on social media. So I posted a static image on Instagram the other day and I tagged the hair care company whose products I use. And it put me on their radar. They started following me. And the other day they sent me a influencer box of like product that will last me for the whole year. Free product that I would have bought. I was buying their stuff. So don't be shy about saying, "Hey, I did this research," and tag a nonprofit that's doing work like that and saying, "Hey, by the way, in the caption, this particular nonprofit is doing amazing work in this area." That puts you on their radar so that you can start building connections. Nothing moves without people. And people are on social media. People are still tuning in to blogs and podcasts that they like. And that's where they can find you. You have to meet the people where they are. So I'm going to pause right there and just recap, because you may have missed some of the strategy with all of the information I'm sharing. Get a podcast list, start pitching those podcasts. Whatever timely current issues are happening, start writing op-eds and pitching. You are a researcher. Use the internet to research these email addresses. You can get almost anyone's email address on the internet with a little bit of research. I don't need to teach you how to do research because you already know how to do research. It's just about the time and the work to do it. And start tagging organizations, companies, people that you align with. And not in like a weird way. Give them credit. Hey, like this piece of research that I did was inspired by X, Y, and Z company. You right. I'm so grateful to follow this company and learn so much. Right. This is building those connections. After a while, these people will start to show up in your DMs, trying to establish a relationship with you. Um, so yes, those are super important strategies that I want you to implement as soon as we get off of this call. All right. Okay. Action plan to getting started. So I just gave you an action plan, but we'll do some more specific things so it doesn't feel so overwhelming, right? Identify two organizations you want to reach. Just write them down. You can stop the video and do that right now. What are some places, people, or organizations that's doing great work in your area of research that you would like to connect with? And just write them down. And then do some of the things that I already talked to you about. Create one piece of content aligned with your mission. So I just worked with a client the other day. She has a book that's coming out. I think she said in October, but she's also on a tenure track. So she was telling me that she wants to lay the groundwork for the release of her book, but she doesn't want to take time away from her tenure track activities. Obviously, tenure is the most important thing. So we're executing a plan together where she's just laying the groundwork. So I told her, let's just get you posting once or twice a week. Okay? Once or twice a week. So that we can start laying that foundation. When it comes to promoting a book, you want to I think this must be said. Um, Posting on social media will help you get more media coverage, but you don't need to have a big social media account to get high level media coverage. You just need to pitch the right media outlets and the right person at those media outlets. But posting consistently on social media just it's just it will get you a lot more visibility and a lot more opportunities that you can't foresee yet. Okay, so you do need to post more than once or twice a week to let me say it like this. This professor that I'm working with now, I've been working with him. This is a different person for 2 months. He had a book launch and he came to me. He's like, "Hey, I just want to do social media and sell books." So he came to me 2 months before his book was out. He had 100 copies. First week and a half, he sold out of all his books from the social media work we had done, but he definitely had to post more than once a week. We're talking about a couple times a day. But so right, it's like align your strategy and your practice with your bandwidth and your ultimate goals. Everybody has different goals. His goals he's very surprised that he sold all these books in a week and a half. But his goal was to sell the book. So we had to, hey, like this is what you got to do, right? This is what you got to do and this is what you have to do now. If you have a book coming out and you want to sell books, I want you to start 100 days ahead of time. 100 days. I know this sounds crazy, but like I can't just tell you what you want to hear because it's not helping anybody. It will be 100 days ahead of the book launch. So that's like almost 3 months. And you need to do something related to selling your book every day. So, listen, I know it's hard. I know it's a lot of work. But that doesn't mean you don't have a different strategy. Maybe a different like goal. Maybe you want to sell 100 books in a year. That's fine. So just like, tailor the plans based on your goals. Okay. All right. Leveraging media opportunities, which is what we've been talking about. But let me just give you a couple more specific strategies. If you go on do a podcast tour, which you can do right from the comfort of your own home, which is beautiful. Some of the higher level podcasts, they want you to come in because they want their own quality video. Um, but if you do like, let's say you do a podcast with your webcam and your microphone. A strategy that I use, and Jennifer knows this, is like you do the 45-minute podcast, have an editor chop up those clips. You'll get about 30 clips and you just schedule that out as social media content, which will make your life a lot easier. Use the strategies I've already talked about, tagging people, send the clips to media outlets. Hey, I did this podcast. Here's what I talked about. I would love to be featured on your show, that kind of thing. Getting leverage for op-eds and like feature pieces. Again, right? Start emailing people to target people to get these features, but use social media to get the word out there because that's where everybody is at. Letting them know, hey, I did this op-ed, tune in, that kind of thing. Turn it into different pieces of content, and um, this might be a little bit more of a heavy lift. You can create your own blog off of your website. A lot of you watching already have websites, which is great. One of the things that will really help with just organic reach and getting people to your website is just posting a weekly blog, just your thoughts, feelings, and opinions about your work. Right? Don't make it. It doesn't have to be so stressful. Just the act of publishing an opinion piece on your blog, um, especially if it's SEO optimized, which I know is that's getting into more advanced stuff. I would just say just post a blog once a week and start there. But you'll see that your website traffic does start to go up. And it's really cool to see. You can connect your Google Analytics ID to it and all that cool stuff. Again, that's kind of I don't want to overwhelm you. I feel like I already overwhelmed you. But there are levels to this. And so yeah. Okay. Breaking into media as a beginner. Just a few points on this. Um, you're not a beginner because you're an academic that studied this. So you're already a step ahead, right? Of most people. I think my academics forget this, right? You're thinking of yourself as a beginner, maybe in terms of getting media coverage and talking to the media consistently, but in terms of your knowledge base, you already have a better chance than other people with those letters behind your name. I feel like I have to Yes, I do have to remind you of that because you're probably still not charging enough for speaking engagements when people who don't have PhDs are making a ton of money out here. So use your academic knowledge to pitch why now stories, meaning why is your opinion or your research relevant now? You know, is it timely? Is it relevant? Is it newsworthy? That's what I teach my clients in terms of thinking about the things that they're pitching to the media. We talked about offering commentary on current events. Um, and then send clear, brief pitches. That mean with relevance up front. When you are emailing editors of these blogs and like let's say the Atlantic or or editor at the Washington Post and that kind of thing, short and to the point. They get a ton of email. Avoid attaching anything if you can, right? Keep it simple. Hey, this is who I am. I'm an award-winning blah blah blah, or I'm a professor of X, Y, and Z. I have this article. If it is an op-ed, the method I taught you, you do want to obviously attach the op-ed, but you don't want to be attaching a lot of stuff. Nobody's clicking on anything unless, right? If those first couple of sentences in the email are a op-ed idea that they like on it, right? But in terms of like, I even try to steer away from attaching like a media kit. Say what you need to say in those first couple of sentences that is smart, timely, relevant, and newsworthy when you're pitching the media. And I've experimented with both of these, like attaching a media kit and not. I just find most busy people don't like clicking on attachments. So it's kind of like it's not a hard cut rule, but I would always err on the side of not attaching anything unless it's super, super important, but also just using your discernment. But the email itself, keep it clear, keep it brief. Tell them how you can help them. Stroking their ego is super important. Hey, I've been following you for a while. Love your previous publications on X, Y, and Z. Would love to do a feature piece or an op-ed on this current timely thing. Here's why it's important. That kind of thing. All right, what makes you media ready? If you're here, you're already media ready, even if you don't think so. As we said, you have unique expertise, right? You have an opinion or insight. It's just a matter of do you feel comfortable sharing it? And having the courage to be visible. This is a big one because this is a mindset thing that everybody has to work through. Even I've had to work through it, right? All right. Here's some things to think about. Like social social proof, this one in the middle is super super important. I explain in the Power Your Research as a ladder effect in terms of the high level. Let's say the high level media is on the top of the ladder. Let's say like I don't know, New York Times, Washington Post, Forbes. Let's say a TEDx talk. Let's say those are high level things that you're interested in. The visual super helpful to me because yeah, you may be starting at the bottom, but you can climb up that ladder one by one. And each rung of the ladder gives you social proof for the next one. So it's like, oh, I'll start at a podcast here that maybe gets 1,000 downloads a month. Okay, but now I can use that to get on the next podcast that gets 5,000 downloads a month because you can show them the one before that you did, which is might just be a little step up. And before you know it, you have a bunch of social proof and you'll be at the top of the ladder, right? So super 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 cool. Um thought leadership, you're already a thought leader. You're already a thought leader because you have a PhD and the thing that you wanna talk about is just, like, aligning the reality with your mindset, and the more articles and blogs you post, the more, you get the search engine optimization, to be honest. Like, journalists are just like us. They're going to social media, they're going to Google to find their thought leaders. Branding is about they type in those keywords and your name comes up. That's thought leadership in your field, right? Someone types in black comics, I promise you, my name is going to come up. If it's the books in the bar or just my name or something, because I just blogs, articles for years and years and years and years, social media, social proof, all of that stuff. And then just think about the public narrative, who you are, what you stand for. This goes back to your purpose, being clear. One of the things you want to get clear on when we're going after media and we're doing it at a high level is like know what your values are and stay within those because you're going to get a lot of opportunities once this gets going and you can get real distracted. But when you're clear on your purpose and your values, you you stay on the clear path of your vision. And yes, people are going to disagree with you and you're going to get some real mean comments every once in a while. I just got slammed a couple weeks ago on Instagram. Like it was crazy. But like the vocal minority is the loudest. But I was within my value system. It was in alignment with what I'm trying to do. And so, you know, who you are and what you stand for is super super important to know that internally and to have that align with publicly who you are as well. That's branding, right? All right, so final takeaways. Visibility leads to opportunity. I can guarantee you that. Use media to support your mission, not distract from it, right? Everybody has different level of bandwidth. And remember, everybody's in a different season in life. So I think about life in seasons. Some seasons, like I'm not in a season at all to do traditional media, but I was. Like I spent like I don't know, years just doing traditional media and no social media at all. Now I'm in my season of social media. I'm starting to get the itch to go back to a season of traditional media, but I'm in right. So don't think like you have to do all of this at once. I have a 10-year plan and you just segment this out as seasons. What season am I in that's right for my life, even my family structure and my goals? Some of us are in seasons when we're still trying to get tenure. Some of us already have tenure, so we're in a different place, and that's okay. Um, and the world won't know your brilliance unless you share it. That's a super true statement, right? Somebody's looking for you right now for your expert opinion, but they can't find you. And so media will solve that problem. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Dr. Sheena Howard. I'm the owner of Power Your Research. You can find me at Dr. Sheena almost everywhere. My most active platforms are Instagram and Threads right now because I'm in a season. Can't do them all, and definitely Patreon is always open if you all want to work with me in a community of other creatives and academics. Check out my Patreon.